What up, what up, what up, what it is, what it do? You know who it is. Who are you? We back again with the 22 twos. We got
Take that
another
kufi off, John.
we got another quick hitter for y'all. I don't know about y'all,
It's a
but I am
sticker.
excited.
Pause.
I am excited. I am excited. Chill out, fellas. Let me get through this real quick, man. Come
Sorry.
on, have some couth
Apologies,
about
bro.
yourself. You uncouth with your
Apologies.
koofy. You uncouth with your koofy. Listen, man. I don't know about y'all, man. It's the best time of the year for me. Going into October, you got everything. I love it this time of year. You got WNBA playoffs. You got baseball going into the playoff.
Yankees trying.
NFL is back. Next month we got the NBA. Next month we got hockey. This is amazing time for sports, and of course, hip hop culture is gonna hit y'all with all that good stuff for those cold winter months. So we gonna go ahead and get in.
Ain't no cold months in Texas, man. Yeah,
we
one
gonna
month.
get
One
into
cold
our,
month, and that's it. That's
we gonna,
it.
we go ahead and get into our quick hitters pause. And we're gonna, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
yo.
Get y'all that dope content. But before we start, please don't forget, like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, all that good
Thumbs
stuff.
up. Thumbs up.
Swing the Twitter
Notification
finger.
Thumbs
bell.
up, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Super Mario.
YouTube, IG, TikTok, Facebook, all of it. Go ahead, get with us. 22 Twos Podcast. 22 Twos Podcast. Go ahead and follow us on all socials. Go ahead, Mr. Felix, take it away.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, fellas,
Please.
today we're introducing a new segment. Everybody out there, of course, we got to hit y'all with the knowledge on all the games, but that's very, very time consuming if we got to get into all the positions, the D line, the O line. But we're going to hit y'all with some quick hitters on the NFL side. We call this segment Second and Two. We're going to hit y'all with some rapid fire scores, some updates from the weekend. Of course, it's a ton going on. It's only week 3. Ain't no bye weeks yet. All these teams playing, all these teams getting it in. You got Stephen A. going off on Monday and everybody going off on Sunday night. Who wants to play Monday morning quarterback? This dude played well. This dude didn't. 3 yards of carry, all this kind of crazy stuff. So let's jump right into it. Maneuvers.
Hey,
What you got?
I'm not jumping into nothing.
Hey, yo.
Sir. Pause.
You would if you had baby oil.
Unless it's some coochie, you're
Jumping into nothing.
Where's Michelle?
We're gonna
Where's
get
Michelle?
we're gonna get to it though, man. Go ahead. The Jets.
Where's Michelle? Shannon?
This guy, man. We're gonna go ahead to talk about gangrene. The Jets went ahead and took care of the Patriots 24-3, improved to 2-1. Patriots fell to 1-2. A-Rod is looking like A-Rod. The defense is looking like the defense. And no hugs on the sideline, just 2 touchdown leads.
and shoves.
And shoves for the rest of the year for my Super Bowl pick, the New York Jets. Steelers took care of the Chargers 20-10, improved to 3-0. Way to go, Steelers, waiting on towels, baby. Chargers fell to 2-1. They'll bounce back. Still curtain with game management. Now 3-0. Looks like the streak of 500 or better win percentage is in no danger this year for the Steelers. They're gonna keep it running. The Colts took care of the Bears. Damn, Caleb, what's going on? You number one. You got all the weapons. They went down 21-16. They fell to 1-2. Colts got their first win. Anthony Richardson, another lackluster performance, but the Colts rolled their stallion. Jonathan Taylor
Yo, that's
to their
crazy.
first win.
Listen, we got the Lions who baked the Cardinals this weekend for brunch and had a happy hour margarita on the side. Final score 20-13. Lions had 377 total. You like that, right? Lions had 377 total yards of offense with the most earned on the ground. You know I like that. You guys know I like physical football. Dave Montgomery, 23 totes, a $105 and a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs came to party too, no diddy. 16 totes, 18 carry, 83 yards. Jared Goff had a great day, 2 tuds. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 receptions, 75 yards. Detroit controlled the line of scrimmage. Cardinals had a tough time stopping the run, but listen, shout out to Kaiser White and Buda Baker. Them boys in the desert need some help. But listen, Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison, they got a special connection. I see Pro Bowl in their future. All right.
Special connection kind of crazy, but
yeah, that is kind of wild. Broncos kicked the Bucks in the mouth, 26-7. A late first quarter INT from Baker Mayfield led to Brandon Jones. I don't know if y'all saw the highlight. Jaleel McLaughlin broke up somebody on the sideline for a TD run. They was down 14-1, 14-0 in the first quarter. They did not look back. Bo Nix had a strong showing after 2 rough games to start the season. 25-36, 216 yards, 9 different targets, and 1 rushing touchdown. Broncos defense boxed the Bucs. 2 takeaways, 223 yards of total offense. The Bucs did nothing. You heard? Nothing. And speaking of nothing, because there wasn't much going on in the realm of scoring, the Eagles marched away with a 15-12 win against the Saints in this bend but don't break pause contest. The Eagles showed the ability to get up and down the field, but turnovers and timely stops by the Saints resulted in empty drives for the Birds. Saints, on the other hand, boxed majority of the afternoon, a paltry 219 yards of total offense. They didn't do much. Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara both showed out. 127 yards for Listen, I had something for you. Pause. Kamara had 127 total yards from scrimmage, while Mr. Barkley maneuvered self-proclaimed king at 147 yards on the ground. Both teams were hitting like they had NyQuil in their pads all game long. Devontae Smith left the game with a seemingly helmet-to-helmet. Hopefully he's okay during the week. You know what I'm saying? He's recovering from a concussion. He lay motionless at 13:54 left in the fourth. Derek Carr threw a 21-yard touchdown to Chris Olave with 2:05 to go in the game. But hey, Jalen Hurts, his Dallas Goblin up the sideline, 61-yard gain for the go-ahead score to Saquon Barkley. They win 15-12. Back to you.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta get this call. Oh wait. Oh, there's a football team in New York. The Giants actually have shown signs of life.
Hey, we won, baby. We won.
Against the hapless Browns, the Giants defense came through with the sack machine. The team that we expected showed up finally on Sunday. Shout out to the Giants about that one. So we had something about Caleb, and then I had a CJ shrug. What happened to the Texans against the Vikings in that Brian Flores defense? Sam Darnold is looking as if he went back to USC and
reincarnated.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if Lincoln Riley's been on the phone with Sam Darnold, but that Vikings team is legit and they are doing something. And one other thing about the Packers and the Titans, liking the Packers and their backup quarterback, Malik. Who Jordan Love? Who do we need Jordan Love for? It has shown.
Who needs Jordan Love?
Who needs?
15?
Where is the
15?
love? Where is the love? Where is the love that you promised me? As we see that the Packers have kept rolling. And we have seen that I have said the Packers are the dynasty of quarterbacks. They have always, for some reason, found somebody. They've had consistent quarterback play, even in the time of injury and despair. And here they are, sitting atop of the NFC North. And that's how I'm going to wrap this one up, fellas.
Man, prime time. Of course, they got to have the boy Patty Mahomes out there. Taking on the road in Atlanta, going up against Kirk Cousins and that vaunted offense. But listen, I've seen a lot of tweets out there, people complaining about the refs. Oh, the young kids say glazing, right? Or they glazing the Chiefs. They calling the game for the Chiefs. What did I say last week? In order to beat Patrick Mahomes, you got to be good and you got to be lucky. So go out there and do it. Y'all all complaining about the Chiefs not that good and they're a 3-0 team, but they're not as good as their record says they are. Y'all let Rashee Rice get 14 targets, 12 catches for $110. Go stop him then. This one guy that y'all saying they're doubling and they're shading to the side of Travis Kelce to try to take him out the game. He only had 4 receptions for 30 yards. So you took him out the game, take Rashee Rice out the game. They clearly don't have Isaiah Pacheco, so the run game is a little bit shaky. Y'all let Carson Steele go off for over 70 on the ground. Go beat him. Speaking of go beat them, Buffalo beat the brakes off of Jacksonville.
In the world would you rather be?
47-10. The game was over before you know it. Listen, I'm out there just
Week
hoping.
3 MVP.
I'm hoping Trevor Lawrence just passes the ball to Christian Kirk because I had him in a little parlay. Of course, that didn't win, but we're gonna talk about
Didn't
that
work
another
out the
time.
way we wanted it
Did
to.
not work out. Josh Allen, 263 through the air, 4 touchdowns. It looked like whenever they possessed the ball offensively, there was nothing, absolutely nothing the Jaguars could do. They could not stop that offense. 10 different receivers caught a pass from Josh Allen in that game. Wow. What are you going to do about that? No digs, no problem. You heard?
Yep.
But with that being said, we're going to dive right in. Pause. So our new segment, 4 Down Territory, get into some of the major headlines of the week. Ravens, Cowboys, America's team, right? They lose yet again after giving Dak all that bread. Ravens beat the Cowboys 28-25. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry combined for almost 275 on the ground and 3 touchdowns. You know, they beat the brakes off of Dallas in the first half, but this is typical. Shout out my boy Chavis. We talk about this all the time. It happens every year in the regular season. The Cowboys go down 2 to 3 touchdowns. Dak has to throw the ball. He starts dashing, dinking, and dunking. He starts throwing dimes, and he ends the game with 300 passing yards. And that's why every year he's in contention for most passing yards, passing touchdowns, because they're always playing from behind. So, fellas, talk to me about what y'all seen in this game. Was it Dallas's, lack of defense? Is there trouble in Baltimore with them not being able to close out games? Does Dallas have to look for another running back? Because it ain't looking too good over there. Mr. Clark Kent, I'm gonna kick it to you real quick. Talk to me about what you saw from that game.
I feel like Dallas does not have a commitment, and I always sound like a broken record every time I say this. They did not have a commitment to the run, a solid commitment to the run to be able to sustain drives and put them in short yardage situations so Dak didn't have to throw on 3rd and 9, 3rd and 11. You know what I'm saying? And, when there's a turnover on downs, guess who took advantage? The Baltimore Ravens with their ability to run the football and get the ball down the field in a hurry. Listen, Derrick Henry had himself a day. When there were questions about whether or not he was a fit for this football team, he definitely dashed those away because, it's like almost like thunder and lightning when you watch him and Lamar Jackson in the backfield and them being able to have, the read option. They're dangerous. But Dallas has always had internal issues, right? Because this is America's team. You have their expectations. And you see certain players beginning to break under the pressure. I don't think Dak Prescott was the problem on Sunday. I think it was CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons and those guys not being able to stay composed as the highest paid players on the team to make sure that they hold it together.
Right.
CeeDee Lamb was boxed. They doubled him the whole game, and they had Marlon Humphrey on him on the outside. So they basically had a safety shading over the top.
I lost bread there too. I know.
Yeah, listen, it was either Roger Stone or they had Kyle Hamilton right over the top with him and Marlon Humphrey. Kyle Hamilton is beast, and they were shading him the whole game. And when he did get his opportunities, he wasn't concentrating. He was dropping the football, and that tantrum that he threw in the end zone from the penalty, like that was the breaking point. And you could see Dak and everybody was just done with him. Like Dak said, "Yeah, just you need to keep playing." But more importantly, the defense. Defense didn't do what they were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Didn't stop the run. Didn't rush the pass because there's no passer to rush. They run the football. And, Dallas is coming to meet guess who? On Thursday. We're a different football team. Better defense. Let's see how that plays out. But, Dallas is in serious trouble if they don't right the ship quickly.
Hey, turn the Micah off.
Hey, yo. Yeah. Turn the Micah off is crazy. Maneuvers. What did you gather from the game? Are we worried about Baltimore 1-2 start the season? Or are we more worried about Dallas?
If I was a fan of either team, if I was a Dallas fan, I'd be super concerned because they can't stop anything defensively. If I was a fan of Baltimore, I'd be very optimistic. They do have a tough little schedule coming up, But I am excited to see as they get further into what, like the later installs on the offensive side of the ball, what they start doing. I don't know if you guys remember last week. I said they need to go to the run option. Um, Start running some bootleg off of that. I thought that would come later on in the season, but we saw it this week. We saw how effective, out the gate. That's what they did. you know,
It was
so
cool. It was cool what they were doing. They were running like a lot of QB sweeps with Lamar
yeah,
and
Yeah.
having the
but there
fakes
was
off
there was there
off
was
tackle
there
with
was
Derek.
there was definitely that, like, you gotta respect the run, and then it it shows, like, if your defensive end hesitates, doesn't even have to bite on the
It's a
handoff.
wrap.
If he
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
hesitates,
Yeah.
like, he's outrunning Michael Parsons around the corner. Like, there's no other defensive end in the league that's gonna catch him when they
He's
run that.
outrunning DeMarcus Lawrence. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter who it
it's
is.
it's, it's
Doesn't matter who it is.
everyone. It's there's nothing you can do to stop that, because if Derrick Henry keeps rolling the way he's rolling, and Lamar Jackson's able to do what he's able to do, only thing that's gonna happen now is they're gonna run the bootleg off of it, and he's gonna be hitting receivers, Flowers and Likely, and Andrews down the field off these fakes. They're gonna
And
be
that's
a
the problem,
scary offense.
maneuvers. That's the problem, maneuver. Let me ask you this: the lack of plays down the field to make teams pay. The
They're
big
gonna
plays
come.
that get into the end zone, where are they?
They're gonna come.
Because
So,
it felt like they took their foot off the pedal. No,
it felt like it, because they had a lead, and it was what they were doing was effective. Like, no NFL coordinator is gonna go into their bag when they're up. Wow, what they're up by. I mean, they are probably in, like, second week install stuff now. They've
Mhm.
got
Yeah.
they got a lot more. They got a lot more in the bag. I I
but when do
I
you
think
start? But when do you start to sweat? When it goes from what
when
12 to 28,
I don't think that
18 to 28,
I don't think they
26 to
ever
28.
I don't
Like
think they ever I don't think they ever there was ever a sense of fear from them. I think they just wanted to win the game. They wanted to get that W. I don't
Mhm.
think that they were concerned that they weren't worried about Dallas.
not at any point, not even
I
a
don't
little
think
bit.
so. I don't think so. Oh, look,
Well,
if look,
The
they
four,
could
the
have.
four, and the four, the turnover, not the turnover on downs, but where they had the punt, the onside
Yeah, but they
recovery
were
after
the
they
on
announced it with the new kickoff rules.
the onside recovery was wild. That happened, but I don't think they
Yeah.
were worried. I don't
yeah,
think they were worried. I wouldn't be. All right,
but
let's
it,
go back to it. Okay,
but
let's. They can't stop what we're doing,
mhm.
but, like, it Dallas. They made a little run. They made a little run. Okay, it was in garbage time.
But as much as we would like to say, like, I would say, you know, as a Ravens fan, I think that's the more concerning aspect, because close out possibly against the Chiefs, blew a lead to the Raiders, who will look hapless, who just got demolished by Carolina, and you blew a 22-point lead to a
Thanks to your
Dallas team
point,
that's still trying to figure out
Mhm.
who they are.
three
But
straight games.
as they said,
But they ain't get slapped away
the
yet, though.
best the best story is always in the losing locker room, and that losing locker room right now is the
But let's be
Dallas
honest. Let's be
Cowboys.
honest. I hear what you're saying, but Dallas got slapped away last week by by
Nah,
the
but
Saints.
it's
And
definitely
and the
something.
truth
Like,
of
I
the
mean,
the truth of the
but you
matter
have to
is,
look at it. They're not closing out games,
they're
and as
not.
you
They
said,
never have.
no, exactly. You bought Derrick Henry to close the game, even though Justice Hill is still a viable running back, and J.K. Dobbins looked like he's found a fountain of youth again, and he's back to being his own self, running the ball, and they got rid of him, but injury, whatever. But I said, like, right now, I said, like, for the Ravens, they need to get better at closing out games, and it's very odd because John Harbaugh has been like a stalwart coach for how many years, so this is different. But as I said, the losing locker room has the best story. And as the Cowboys are looking up today, they are like, I think they're last in the division, which is
They're tied with the Giants.
no. By, I think, points or something. The
Of course, by
margin,
points, yes.
by points, I think the Giants are ahead. And there's no way we thought in week 3 that the Dallas Cowboys, and you know what? And like, I'm not gonna take any Dak shots at Dak. Do the Dallas Cowboys really want to go back to the Quincy Carter years and Brandon Whedon and
It ain't his fault.
It
Yeah,
ain't.
it's not
it
his
ain't.
fault.
It's
not
Jerry's
his fault.
His
If
fault.
you won't be
You know what I'm
honest,
saying? So Jerry should have paid him. It is what it is, right? You know what I'm
Jerry
saying?
ain't make no moves.
He took forever.
Jerry didn't make any moves. He just signed who he had.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
let me
that's
put
it.
it, and let me put a ball on this, right? When you got 3 of the top 15 players in the NFL who are up for contract, you have to pay them. How much does that leave for the rest of the football team for building through free agency? And to the credit to the, and real quick, like I said, put a ball on credit to the Cowboys. They've done an excellent job in the draft, but the draft can only take you but so far in order to build on the team, because guess what? You can't miss when you have a quarterback you paid $60 million to, a wide receiver that you're giving $32 million to, a pass rusher that you're giving over $112 million to. So you cannot miss, and it looks like the Dallas Cowboys are paying for it right now.
Shout out to Kyle Van Noy, though, off the street last year, stapling that Ravens defense.
Listen, we're gonna see what happens on Thursday when they come play Big Blue. You know, of course, you mentioned CeeDee Lamb got locked up, but that opened things up for Kevontae Turpin out there. I think he had 91 yards receiving, so that might be a weapon we got to look out for on Thursday. But hopefully the Giants be competitive. That's all we ask for. Be competitive. Maybe we come out with a win. But another team that really went out there and got it done, surprisingly, and surprisingly again, I lost bread again. Raiders money line. What the Ravens, Raiders, Vegas. What the Antonio Pierce go out there and lose to Andy Dalton, going out there throwing dots, 319 yards and 3 tutties after Bryce Young had been benched. Man, listen, that team, you know, and there's been a lot of talk, you know, they were saying Deontay Johnson would have been unlocked this week, you know, Thielen would have been unlocked, but Andy Dalton came in, showed why he's a vet in this league. He's been around doing it for years. You know, did his thing on the Bengals. Obviously, they couldn't win a playoff game, right? Couldn't even get to the playoffs, matter of fact. But, you know, he came in, did what he knows. So now it kind of looks like it's been all Bryce's fault. You know, we've been talking about that offensive line that hasn't been up to par, that defense kind of just letting teams score at will. And Andy Dalton came out there and put it on the Raiders, who just beat the Ravens last week. So, fellas, and I'll kick it off with you, Darnell, because you're the college guy. Of course, Bryce Young came in hot from college, you know, #1 pick. And for the most part, you know, they were Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, but a lot of people were leaning towards Bryce Young, regardless of his height. But does Bryce capture any more magic this season? Is he done for the year, or do you think he makes a return to the lineup at some point this season?
I really liked, I'm trying to remember who mentioned it. You know, when we watched Bryce Young in college, he had a plethora of weapons loaded all around him, you know. And the one thing that we said, even though he was short, you know, he did make plays. He was extremely accurate. And the big reason why he got drafted #1, because they said, hey, Bryce Young is a very cerebral quarterback. He could anticipate the plays, see the pass rush, make the check to the line of scrimmage. But I'll be honest, man, he looks, and I don't say this like pause, like he looks small, and not in the sense of his stature. It looks as if the game, this looks so like it's just that much bigger to him.
Than he is.
Bigger than he is, you know, and it just doesn't have. He just hasn't hit that. He hasn't hit that gear. You know what I'm saying? And it's just very odd for another guy to come in there and put up 300 yards, because Dave Canales has said Dave Canales resurrected Baker's career with the Bucs. So he has played with quarterbacks who are a little bit undersized and guys who have to make different checks and reads out of the pocket. And he did that with Baker. So you can't say Canales is not that guy. You know, so we have to look at Bryce Young and say, like, hey, change the scenery. Maybe you got to get somebody else. But I mean,
here's my problem with But here's my problem. Not to interrupt your point, but here's my problem.
You
with
are
Canales.
interrupting his point.
You are
interrupting his point.
So I did mean to do that.
Yeah.
Canales, you can't go from the offseason knowing that you wanted to move away from Bryce Young because he is a young quarterback who's still not ready.
Yeah.
Because how many trade offers did they turn? 4 trade offers, right? Did we see this past weekend that were turned down by the Carolina Panthers? They don't want to give him up. They want to keep him, but they put in Andy Dalton because the vets were probably fed up. They're like, like FJB said, is not getting the ball. Adam Thielen's not being fed, and they have the 5th rated pass blocking offensive line in the NFL right now by Pro Football Focus. So they're not pass blocking is not the issue. Yeah. It's the distribution of the football, and as you could clearly see, guys came ready to play with Andy Dalton. 3 touchdowns in the first half. Instant success. Let's see how that carries over. But I kind of like the move in the long run. I don't like how it went they went about it. But I think it's screwed up, bro. Like, if you knew that you didn't want him to play, don't make him your starting quarterback week 1.
But I think a lot
of you wanted to go with
with
Andy Dalton.
And I'll say this, bro. Like, David Tepper is a very, very hard-nosed owner he's prideful. He doesn't want to be he doesn't want to be seen as that guy. I don't know if y'all seen the movie talking about the GameStop, man. He was a big part of that, man. He was stubborn the whole time. You know what I mean? So he's just that guy. He doesn't want to be proven wrong, So.
Maneuvers, is there trouble in Sin City? After a big week from Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers, a lot of coming back down to earth this week. Lost to Carolina. They got to go a different direction?
I mean, what direction they going to go? They're starting. What was it?
Get rid of Devontae Adams, man. Trade Devontae.
Gardner Minshew's a starting quarterback. But they are a team that I think they're going to be well coached, well motivated. I think they're going to have their ups and downs throughout the season. I think this is just one of their downs. Don't expect them to compete for much, but I think they're going to be a competitive football team. I don't think no team is going to walk into a game with the Raiders and it's going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be a difficult game. The Raiders going to give them a good shot. Pause. I do want to talk about the Bryce Young thing though, because I sat here and I listened to you guys say what you guys had to say, and I feel like let's not jump to oh my God, Andy Dalton's going to be such a great improvement over Bryce Young for the long run.
We have a big enough sample size.
I didn't say that.
I'm just saying. I know you said in the long run. You said in the long run you like. You said in the long run you like the move. I just think that Bryce needs to get his confidence back.
Yeah.
I think his confidence has been stripped from him from the 17, 18 games he's played. 19 games he's played, I'm sorry, in the NFL. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback in this league. I just think the things that you saw in him in Alabama, you think some of the things you saw in him last year, you're not seeing this year, and that's because of the things that he's had to go through. I think him sitting a little bit probably will do him some good. I don't think Carolina's going to let him go. I think they'd be stupid if they did. Because
you're
not getting nothing for him.
you're
not going to get nothing for him, and he's going to go somewhere else and light it up.
Ask the 49ers, Trey Lance.
Listen.
How'd that work out? All those assets. It does. You can do a reset at any time and walk away from it like it never happened.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, but Trey Lance. He's not.
It's the same situation.
It's not the same situation. There is a.
Say that.
Trey Lance does not have the resume. Is not have the resume. He is not a national champion. He does not. He did not done the things that Bryce Young has done. Trey Lance. You misunderstand the point that I'm trying to make in the assets that were given up for the player, not the accomplishments prior to being drafted. There's a difference. It's still, to me, it's still apples to oranges, not apples to apples.
Well, the Niners did start over with Glock Purdy He was out here doing the damn thing. Unfortunately, they lost the game to the Rams, in which they dominated for most of the game. I thought that game was over. Both teams dealing with insane amount of injuries. Brock Purdy, Glock Purdy locked in, 292 in the air, 3 touchdowns. Ayuk, come up off that bread, my boy. Come up off that bread and hand it to Jawan Jennings. I don't know what you was doing out there looking wild out of shape. I know you were holding out, but you could have been working out. You know what I'm saying? Jawan Jennings, $175 receiving. Brock Purdy had 8 incompletions. 6 of them were drops. Just drops. So he was out here slinging the thing. Pause. Jordan Mason on the ground doing his thing, but unfortunately they lost. Got to give Matt Stafford his flowers. This dude has been balling his whole career. Definitely really happy he got out of Detroit and he won a Super Bowl in LA and out here doing it without Puka Nacua or Cooper Kupp, out here doing it without his 2 main receivers. Yeah. So, boys, is it time for the 49ers to panic? Maneuvers, I'm going to kick it to you first. They've got Debo out. Christian McCaffrey just went to Germany to get a consultation on his Achilles tendonitis.
That's crazy. He went to another
country. So you know he's trying to do that.
So something is definitely
wrong. Hargrave is out for the season. George Kittle out for a couple weeks. Yeah. Is it time for them to panic, or they might be
All right, I'm gonna just go ahead and cover both these teams right now. When I think of the 49ers, you know I think win. And not what you guys are thinking. I think win as in win it now, because you ain't gonna have a chance to win it later. They had all the chances in the world to win it now, and they did it.
That door is closing real fast.
Slammed.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Fortunately for them, and I would like everyone on this panel to go ahead and
bookmark this.
No, bookmark it. I want y'all to think back to things that you've said in the past. I want everyone in this panel to understand that this door is closing, but the window is still going to be there because Brock Purdy is a franchise friggin' quarterback. Ooh. All those naysayers. All those naysayers.
Let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer
know. Shout out to Brock Purdy. He is the truth, son. He is the truth.
I don't know nothing about football. I know about quarterbacks. And Brock Purdy is gonna be there for a while in San Francisco.
Damn sure don't know basketball.
To your point, what have all the analysts, what have all the analysts and experts been saying? Shanahan offense, and he has a loaded roster.
He doesn't have a loaded.
It ain't loaded. It wasn't loaded.
Did his damn thing.
Nope.
But he played so much football in college that it makes a difference when you get to the NFL. It makes such a big difference. Other thing is, Rams are sneaky scary, yo.
Yeah.
If they get healthy, bro.
Told you.
Rams are sneaky scary.
Mm-hmm.
They lost the week 1 when they lost week 1. I was like, man, they lost, but they look good. They're sneaky scary. That's all I gotta say.
How about Karen Williams?
Man, they are sneaky scary. NFC, you guys are on alert. You better hope they don't get healthy.
Right.
You better pray that Matthew Stafford don't get weapons.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be ugly.
But doesn't it look like he has command full? I mean, he's always looked like he looks like 09. He looks like 09 Matt Stafford in Detroit. Remember when he had a bunch of no names and he's just
what it
darts
looks
all
like
over the field, dots, bro.
That's
what he looks like right now.
He looks like that, but
Tutu Atwell.
You know what really
Tutu Atwell
jumps out at me when I look at Matthew Stafford is that one, he looks in phenomenal. I don't know what he did this offseason.
Great shape.
Bro. He looks in phenomenal shape out there, bro. Yeah. And I think that makes all the difference in the world. He's able to do the things that Matthew Stafford can do because he's healthy and he's in phenomenal shape.
But you know what's bugged is that he's been the most. He's got to be the most contacted quarterback over the last 10 to 12 years, right? Like in terms
But you
of
know what?
punishment.
Yeah,
Like
but you're not.
he's not gun shy, bro. He will stand and
But
stare down the
that's
barrel
but
and
you
let
know
it
that's the
go.
thing. But you know that's the thing, right? And
Yeah.
I think to the naked eye, a lot of people don't realize this. Like he'll stand in the pocket, but he delivers the ball at a point where it's like the defender's hitting him, but they're pulling out pause because because he's like they don't want to get the flag. He's got the ball out of his hand. Like he's waiting till the last possible second where they can see the ball is gone and they've got to kind of pull up. So they hit him and they fall on him, but it's not like if they're
Listen.
like running through it.
But
Shout
giving
out Kai
somebody their
Williams, man.
flowers. Yeah.
Shout out Kai
Yeah.
Williams. This dude is an auto
Animal.
tutty every week. Automatic. Book it.
Animal. Listen, that NFC West, and Darnell, let me ask you this, bro, because the Niner injuries. Granted, the Rams have two of their major weapons on the outside hurt, but as you can see, they can make do otherwise, right? But when you're looking at the 49ers, they're missing Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Hargrave. Hargrave just tore his bicep. Or was it tricep? No, it was his tricep. He's out for the season.
Tricep, yeah, he's done.
And that defense doesn't look the same. Like, what are they? They've always been able to hang their hat on that defense. What do they do now?
Look, man, if my aunt had stones, she'd be my uncle. We can't keep giving these guys every year they get a pass. You know what I'm saying? Every year. I am tired. I have had it up to here with every year the Niners get a pass. Every year the Niners go to the Super Bowl, and you know what?
Get out the way. Get out the way. I want them to get out the way.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing. Like, every year it's this hype train with the Niners. Every single year. I think Father Time is just saying, like, you know what? You had your chance. This is it.
Now.
This is it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'll be, hey, look, remember, it's funny when we were talking, when we had that live show, I did make a joke about Seattle. And I'm looking at Seattle now.
It ain't funny now.
It ain't funny. I said,
It
hey,
ain't funny now.
dude, because you know what, dude, McDonald has come over and brought the Legion. He has meshed the Legion of Boom with that Raven swagger even more. And
Tariq Woolen, Boye Mafe.
They are not scared, and they know that Gino is not going to lose them the game. So that is the Niners better watch out. You know what I mean? They already got shook up a lot by that Vikings. Even Glock Purdy was like, man, your schemes are crazy, man. Like, I don't know what you were doing out there. I was seeing ghosts out there. You know? So we gotta just look at the Niners and say, like, you know what? They had a really good run. You know what I'm saying? They did it a couple years ago when they had Harbaugh, and now it's funny, man. It's almost
their run. This window is closing, but they'll have another window again very shortly because they do have a franchise quarterback, and that's all you need. Because look at the Bills.
I said, okay, but here's the thing. But here's the funny thing, right? Your boy Purdy threw for close to 300, but they lost.
Yeah, but you can. Yeah, I hear that. But you can always reload when you got a guy at quarterback. Look at the Bills. If you thought they were done, they got a guy. They got a guy.
I don't know. You talking about Josh Allen now?
They got a guy. Brock Purdy's a guy.
Last thing, he's the guy. But where's the money for the guy?
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming this year.
Where's the money for the guy?
It's coming this year.
What did I start by saying in this segment? Ayuk, come off that bread, my brother.
Brandon
come
Ayuk,
off that bread.
Get about it.
But fellas, just go off the back of Matt Stafford and Brock Purdy. This has, of course, been the weekend of stellar quarterback play. Like Aaron Rodgers from Thursday, Josh Allen, as we mentioned, Brock Purdy, Matt Stafford, and then there was the Rook, Jaden Daniels. 21 of 23, 91% completion percentage. He broke the NFL rookie record for completion percentage in a game, I think, just beating Dak Prescott, who had an 89% completion percentage game in his rookie year. I mean,
What's the highest completion record period in a game? Is it
Rich Gannon has it.
So yo, Rock, get on that stat. Let me find out what stat that is. I don't know what the highest is. I'm sure it's close to 100. I'm sure there's been games where dudes probably missed like one or they maybe missed two, but just they threw more passes. So
right.
That being said, the Bengals just couldn't stop a nosebleed the entire game. Anytime the Commanders got the ball, it felt like they couldn't be stopped. Jaden Daniels rushing, Jaden Daniels throwing, Terry McLaurin broke out. This was the game. He's been waiting for it all season.
Yeah.
For you fantasy lovers out there, he was definitely on those names to watch because he was absolutely the number one receiver coming out of training camp. And as long as Jaden Daniels caught up to speed, you knew Terry McLaurin was going to have one of these breakout games. On the other side, of course, Joe Burrow did his thing, also throwing for the 300 yards, couple touchdowns. Jamar Chase did his thing. T. Higgins, first game back, had a couple receptions. But my biggest takeaway, man, that Bengals defense couldn't stop a thing. But shout out Jaden Daniels. There's so many questions about these rookie quarterbacks coming into the league. Look at all the questions around Caleb Williams already. Of course, J.J. McCarthy, unfortunately, out for the season with that injury. Jaden Daniels out here doing it. Those LSU QBs, right? Just pick them.
They got them.
Keep picking up. So, are the Bengals done? I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Out of teams that have started 0-2 since 2021, there's been 21 teams. 19 of them have missed the playoff. The Bengals are now 0-3. Are they making the playoffs this year, Sean?
It's tough to at this point of the year. It's always tough to say when you watch these teams and how they're beginning to form their identity, and you look at how the Bengals started their season with Jamar Chase being a holdout and being limited in the first two games, because of the injury from coming back, and you finally get him back. T. Higgins has a hamstring injury. You're trying to ease him back in, and he doesn't have all the weapons that he needs. They have that tight end that looked pretty good, Eric Hall, but the problem I don't think with the Bengals is their defense. And I heard you guys talking about the defense, but I think they just ran into a buzzsaw that we saw last week on live television with the Giants versus the Commanders.
Yeah.
They have a multitude of ways that they can attack you, and they don't have a lot of weapons, but it all starts with Jaden Daniels. His ability to be able to, manipulate the defense with the.
I think they got weapons, bro. I think
they
got weapons.
Yeah. Who?
Who? The Commanders?
I think they do, man. I think
McLaurin. They got McCaffrey, the rookie.
Yeah,
they got Zach Ertz.
Brian Robinson.
Austin Eckler
is over. He's hurt.
But no, okay, but I'm saying, like,
and they're not using him the way they need to use him.
Yeah, they're not. That's what I'm saying. Like, they have weapons. Like
Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
They use him to get a kicker out the game.
See what you did. That's dirty. But to be honest with you, I would place more credence to the credit of the way the Commanders attacked the Bengals. This is Lamar Jackson's style in terms of the threat of the run from the quarterback, and Brian Robinson got loose a couple of times. Terry McLaurin, like you mentioned, too smooth. Beat down the field, a couple of times. Go ahead.
Can I say something without being sacrilegious? Please forgive me with this one, but I think it needs to be said. I like that you touched on the Lamar Jackson aspect because I didn't say nothing. I just touched on the Lamar.
I don't touch on anything man related.
He touched on the aspect. He said he touched on the aspect.
Just kidding.
That was a reach. That was a reach.
That was a real reach. That was a real reach.
It was.
As I said,
you the ones Cam talking about, man.
He's just going too much. But I just want to say this. Look, I gotta give Jaden a lot of credit because the Lamar Jackson aspect, and I hate to say this, man, but he's accurate, bro. And the thing is, it's weird. It's as if like I'm looking at Lamar Jackson phase 2 happening. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lamar of putting passes
a more accurate
Lamar Jackson, and that's
scary. Dare we say smoother
Yes,
less
yes.
susceptible to hits.
His mechanics, his passing. It's like
Three games again. Temper your expectations and how you talk on this man. The 2-time MVP. We gotta relax.
No. I'm not saying that.
Have to relax.
I'm not saying that. What
so far?
That's what's scary. That
looks the real deal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he continues in that trajectory, this is what I'm saying. This is a Lamar Jackson.
But real quick, let me wrap up my point on the Bengals. The Bengals are going to be right there. This is a division, right? You're looking at the Ravens right now. They're 1-2.
Yeah.
You know, one game if the Bengals win, they're right back in it.
All right.
It's cool. You know what I'm saying? This is the AFC North.
Yeah.
There are gonna be opportunities. There's still division games down the road.
They ain't beating the Steelers like they're playing. They're not beating the Ravens like they're playing. They're gonna beat the Browns. All they gotta do is get their quarterback back. Tell Cody Rhodes to go back to wrestling.
Oh no!
And send Joe Burrow back. So they need Joe Cool back.
They need hoodie Joe Burrow.
Yeah, because they got Cody.
That's preposterous.
They got Cody.
He went 29-30. He went 29-38.
Yeah.
324.
Yeah,
and
but
3
you know what I'm
touchdowns.
saying?
0 mistakes, bro.
But you gotta understand.
Wasn't his fault.
You gotta understand the confidence that the team has when Joe Burrow's playing quarterback and not Cody Rhodes. It's different. They got Cody Rhodes playing quarterback. He's Cody Rhodes. I want to say something on the I want to say something on the
Wrap us up.
point. I want to say something to Jaden Daniels. I hear everything that you guys are saying. There's a lot of positives to look at, but
I'm a hater. Blibbity blue blah.
I'm not a hater. I think that young man plays great quarterback in the NFL. Unfortunately, he plays great quarterback in the NFL for the Washington Football Organization. And we all know their history and what they do with quarterbacks. So,
I don't know, man.
Temper your expectations.
Nah, I mean,
because
innocent is hard.
Because large croissant eating gentlemen should still be a quarterback in the National Football League, but it was mismanaged. Mismanagement of a quarterback. I mean, we all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
But mismanagement of the quarterback in the NFL, young quarterback in the NFL, is a thing, especially young athletic quarterbacks. A lot of these guys don't have a shot because they want to play football and organizations want to make money, and the right decisions are sometimes not made. So I pray that doesn't happen to him because he has a very bright future ahead of him.
What do you mean? What about Lamar Jackson? So you say the same thing about Lamar Jackson? You want to stymie his athleticism because
no, you're not. You're not listening. I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like they're athletic and they get hurt, and the organization sometimes rush them back or put them in situations where they don't reach their full potential. This is not a Lamar Jackson. This is not a Lamar Jackson conversation. This is
doing the right thing.
Conversation about organizations doing the right thing for these young quarterbacks.
The same organization that put a jersey on a wire rack and called that a tribute to one of the greatest safeties of all time.
Exactly. That's not how you do it, sir. It's like this. All right?
Bad luck to them.
Don't disrespect.
No.
Don't disrespect.
Bad luck to them because they're in the same division as we are. But as Sean mentioned, things could change next week for the Bengals. They come out with a win. That's what's so good about the NFL. Every week is so important. Each game is so important. One win could change the trajectory of your whole season. Good luck to everybody out there. More luck to the Giants. We're going to see y'all next week. Give y'all some more upcoming thoughts. Peace. Like, subscribe, do all that, comment, DM, whatever. I don't know. Call my number, text me. I don't know. Email me.
You don't know more football than us.
Don't text me. I'll answer.
And don't try to argue. We're going to argue in the comments too. You do not know more than us.